I had left that morning from Evansville and had flown to Florida on a combination recruiting and scouting trip. I was going to work my way back through Georgia and Atlanta to scout Mercer as an upcoming opponent. My flight left Evansville early in the morning, like 7 or 7:30. I got into Tampa early afternoon, 2 o'clock. Got a motel room at a Holiday Inn near the airport. I was going to spend about 3 or 4 days in that area recruiting, because there were some kids that had some size, and that was an area that we really had a need for from a recruiting standpoint. After the game was over with, I hung around. I met the coach, visited with him, talked to the kid, his family. You could do those things at that time. That was probably over about 9:30 or 10 o'clock Eastern time. Headed back to the room, turned on the television. And by the time I had gotten there and turned on the TV, the Johnny Carson show was on. I'd missed the news. The next morning, I had gotten up, pick up some newspapers, and go back to the room and get ready to make some of the visits that I was going to make. And happened to pick up the newspaper that was headlined "Basketball Team Dies in Plane Crash." It was really a strange feeling when I got the newspaper and I saw the headline, and it was almost like, as I was looking, my thought was, that's really bad. That's awful. And I thought, well, who's flying in to play ISUE, Indiana State University at Evansville, now Southern Indiana University? And then as I scanned down the paper, names sort of jumped out of the paper. It was surreal. This was our team. This was Evansville's team, my team, and it was literally a surrealistic feeling. After it sunk in, I called my wife, and she was on her way out the door to go to a memorial service on campus. I called Jim, and he said, he gave me some brief information. He said, get on back here as soon as you can. We got a lot to do. I didn't do anything. Hopped in a rental car, drove it to the airport, and I had checked the airport and seen that there was a flight from Tampa back to Atlanta, connecting on to Evansville. So I parked the car. Just pulled it right into the concourse virtually, and found an Eastern personnel that was there. And he said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes." Told him who I was, who I worked for, what had happened, and I'm trying to get this flight that basically is getting ready to leave in about 5 minutes, and I got to get out of here and I got to get back to Evansville. And I made the flight and got back to Atlanta. Had a brief layover in Atlanta, and then made the connection back to Evansville and got into Evansville late in the afternoon around 4 o'clock.